Hello again, my beautiful and magical master manifestors. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Michelle with Soul Purpose Activation, and we are in the middle of a series of manifesting in our future spouse. If you haven't seen part one, I'll see if I can link it. Definitely, I'll put it in the description box below. See that first, okay? Because you won't be able really to do this step until you've done the first step. Okay, this is part two. All right, so we just learned that we need to discover the core wants, the core whys, the needs behind why we're wanting to manifest our future spouse in. Okay, so now that we have identified our core wants and our core needs, now we're going to get to work on clearing the channel. Okay, we're going to clear the channel because what we're going to end up doing, you guys, is feeling it real. But before we can feel it real, it's going to be very helpful to clear the channel of anything that is resisting our ability, anything that is limiting our ability to feel it real. Okay, so what we need to understand, you guys, as far as clearing the channel, the reason why we clear the channel, and this is all having to do with learning how to master our emotions, which you're very capable of doing. It is actually mastering your emotions is actually easier, in my opinion, and in my own experience, than mastering the mindset. And when you master your emotions, if you can get yourself to feel good thoughts automatically follow. Okay, it's impossible to feel good and think nasty thoughts. You know what I mean? But you can try and think positive thoughts and just feel like shit. So you'll notice, like, the best thing you can do if you are time crunched and you need to learn whether or not mastering your mindset or mastering your emotions. Work on mastering your emotions, because once you get into a feel-good state, it is impossible to think nasty thoughts. I don't know why Nasty Girl from Janet Jackson just popped in my head. It's like, ooh, I think I want to bump that later. Anyway, all right, so we are going to start to work on clearing the channel of any kind of emotion that is opposite of what it is we're wanting to feel. Okay, any resistance, basically, we're clearing the channel of resistance. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take that core want or that core need that is making up your desire to manifest in your future spouse, and we're going to actually work on clearing the channel of it, because it's resistance. If you are wanting it, then you're not going to be able to have it, because that want is coming from a place of lack. It's coming from a place of not having it. And we can't do that. As long as we are wanting something, we're not going to be able to actually have it and experience it in our 3D realm. Okay, if you're lost here, like I said, I explained it all in the first video. Okay, so let's get to work on clearing the channel. So the first thing that we do, you guys, is it's very simple. Whatever you really need to get tapped into your body and kind of feel what it feels like to not have it. Okay, so you might be able to connect a little bit better with the feeling of whatever that want is. So if you are feeling like you're not good enough, like you want your future spouse because you don't feel good enough without one, like your future spouse is going to validate your worth, then that's what we're going to start working with. Okay, so we'll just use that as an example. We'll use that as an example. So as far as worth goes, we'll say that, yeah. So what we do first is we want to actually sit with that feeling of what it feels like to not feel good enough, what it feels like to feel worthless, whatever has come up for you as far as that need is concerned. Okay. And a worthless or a worth would be, kind of like the shadow of wanting to feel worthy. Okay. So I will explain the difference, the dichotomy, because this is going to feel very counterintuitive for those of you who have been studying and operating under the law of attraction, where, you know, you've been taught how to resist thinking certain thoughts, which that's mind-based, that is masculine mind-based energy. You know, you don't want to think bad thoughts. And that works for masculine mind-based energy. You can replace like that a bad thought with a more positive one. Okay, that works for masculine mind-based energy. When we are talking about heart-based, emotional, feminine energy, it doesn't work like that. Okay, so this is going to feel very counterintuitive, because if we have, you know, like I trained under the law of attraction long before I started learning the feminine side of manifesting, okay, which is all emotion. All right. And so step one for clearing the channel is to welcome that uncomfortable feeling, whatever it is. Okay. And why I'm saying this is counterintuitive is because there's going to be a feeling like, well, if I acknowledge it, if I feel it, then that I'm just going to continue to manifest more of it. That is true for the mind. Okay. If you try to resist what you are already feeling emotionally, all you are doing, because you're resisting, resistance is in and of itself an emotion that fuels whatever it is you're trying to resist. Okay, so we welcome what it feels like to feel worthless, because doing so actually really helps to start releasing that emotion from being stuck and trapped in our body and our experience. It starts to lift. Okay. What a lot of people have problems with. So here's what when we talk about welcoming, what we're not doing is inviting. It's not that we are inviting it in when it wasn't there before. It's already at our table. What we're doing is, rather than acting like it doesn't exist and trying to push it away and make it leave, which is very masculine based energy. Masculine based energy is wanting to change it, fix it, whatever. Fix it, change it, manipulate it. That, okay. Feminine base, see, you can't do that with your emotions. You have to use your feminine energy with your emotions, because your emotions are feminine based energy. So what you do with it is you just sit there and you allow it its space at the table. It's already there. Okay, you allow it to voice whatever it's wanting to voice. Okay, you allow whatever feelings, thoughts, images, whatever comes up, sounds. Okay. And what this does, you guys, is it actually weakens its presence in your experience. If you are very connected with your body, you can feel this resistance, feel this emotion of what it feels like to not feel worthy. You can feel it in your body. Sometimes most people can feel it like, it can envelop their heart and their solar plexus. Sometimes you'll feel it in your gut. Wherever you are feeling this at, or your gut would be your sacral and or root chakra. Okay, wherever that feeling is at, you're letting it, you're acknowledging it, you're welcoming it. Okay, you are, without trying to fix it, without trying to change it, without trying to make it go away. Okay, this is step one. Okay, so step two is, after you've spent some time acknowledging it, and it doesn't have to be very long, because you can actually feel it, like energetically, you can start to feel, once you start to welcome it and you allow this feeling to just stay there with you, you start to feel it lift, you start to feel it weaken, you start to feel it dissipate. Okay, and when you start to finally feel it weaken, and it can happen like that, the minute you connect with that feeling and you just allow that feeling to be there, it's almost like you're releasing the pressure valve, or whatever that, you're opening up the valve to let that pressure out. And then you go to the second question is, now, can I let this go? Can I let go of, so the first question is, can I allow myself to feel worthless? Can I allow myself to feel this feeling of worthless? Because as long as you are trying to change it, you're actually holding on to it. As long as you are trying to change it, fix it, manipulate it, and make it go away, you're actually holding on to it, because all of that is resistance. Resistance is very masculine. Okay. Yeah. So after that, the second question being, now, can I just, can I let this go? Can I let go of wanting to feel worthy? Can I let go of wanting to feel important? Because you know that as long as you are wanting to feel worthy, you won't actually experience feeling worthy. Okay. The third question is kind of piggybacking off of the second, because no matter what your answers to any of these questions are when you're clearing the channel, is it's all valid. It is what it is, right? We're in zero resistance here. Okay, we're in total allowance, we're in total recognition and acknowledgement that we are feeling what we're feeling. Okay, this is feminine based energy. We're not resisting anything. All right, so if the answer to the question of, can I let this go? And this is, you could say, no, I can't welcome it, and that's fine. No, I can't let it go, and that's fine too. Just the thought of you entertaining your ability to be able to welcome it is releasing. Okay. And so when you get to question 3, can I allow myself, or, question 3 is, would I let this go? Okay. In other words, if you said no at any point in time, question 3 is saying, okay, that's cool. If you were able to let go, would you? If you could let go, would you? If you could welcome it, would you? And this is where, for a lot of people who are first starting off this part of the manifesting, like you're learning how to actually be in your feminine energy and master your emotions, this is where they really feel most of the release happen. As you get really good in releasing, you'll actually start to feel the release in just the first 1 or 2 questions. You'll actually feel it, like, and then, so yeah, this is probably the best thing I've learned, is how to master my emotions. And it doesn't actually take that long. Okay. So, and releasing is happening regardless of what your answers are, or whatever you think is happening or feeling or going on in your body. Releasing is still happening. Okay. The fourth and last question in the series of questions is, when will I let this go? When would I let this go? And, it's, again, the answer is entirely up to you. You can let go of it an hour from now. You can let go of it tomorrow, next week, next month. Most of us are going to be like, oh, right now, I'll let go of it right now. All right. So that's the process of clearing the channel, of clearing the wants. You'll want to continue and keep going through this questioning process until you've gotten yourself into a state of neutrality. You're in a state of, because these line of questioning came from a book called The Sedona Method. All right. So the guy that made it up, or Lester Levinson, he says you want to keep going through this line of questioning until you get to a state of hootlessness. Okay, I haven't thought of a different word. I just say neutrality. You get to a state of you're okay either way. Okay, so you can actually do this on the actual future spouse too. Okay, so we actually cleared out the underlying want for why you're wanting a future spouse, but you can actually use your future spouse as it too. So, so that would look like, well, can you welcome how it feels to not have your future spouse? Can you welcome that feeling and connect with that feeling? Can you welcome not having it? Okay, or not having him or them or whatever. Can you welcome what it's feeling like to not experience that? And question 2 is, can you let go of wanting to experience that? Because remember, as long as you're wanting something, you're not actually going to be able to have it. Okay. You're just going to keep manifesting events and circumstances that are going to keep you in a state of wanting your future spouse because you don't have it. Okay. Or them, you don't have them. Was that number 2 or number 3? Yeah. Sorry, you guys. Okay. Question 3 is, if I didn't say 2, question 2 is, can I let go of wanting? Can I let go of wanting to experience having my future spouse? Can I let go of wanting my future spouse? Question 3 is, would I let go of wanting my future spouse? Okay. Would I let go of wanting to manifest or experience my future spouse? Because again, that is just saying like, okay, you can say no. I can't welcome the feeling, and no, I can't let go. Number 3 is like, that's cool. It's all right. We're not in any resistance here. If you could let go though, would you? Knowing that you're wanting to have it is exactly what you are continuing to manifest in. You're continuing to manifest wanting to have it, which means you're not having it. You're not experiencing it. Okay. Number 4 would be when will I let go of wanting a future spouse? All right. So that is that part of it. Now, you don't need to journal this part. You can actually write down this stuff. You can say, you can write down the steps, or you can just say them. This is something that you can do every single moment of every single day at any point in time. You can do it in your mind. You can do it out loud. You can be in a room full of people and you can be releasing. Okay. Okay. So the next thing that we are going to do now that we've cleared the channel is we want to actually connect with the feeling of what it's like to be experiencing having your future spouse right now. Okay. This is where feeling it real comes in. So, I will meet you on the next video. You guys, make sure you do me a favor. If this resonated with you, smash the like button. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. Subscribe and share if you feel led to do so. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks, you guys.